There is no way in the world that this is actually constitutional. Welcome to Unifier TV, where truth has no fear. Now, I'm talking about this crazy story coming out of North Carolina, where a middle school student was put in ISS and eventually suspended because he decided to share his feelings and thoughts on Jesus Christ to his classmates who I hear are homosexual. Now, that is not at all illegal to share your feelings about the religion you choose to practice in. That is your civil right. Somehow, this violates the Education Amendments of 1972, as if anyone has ever heard of that. According to Title 11, this was considered harassment because it's something that they say is discriminatory against people that decide to practice. Basically, if you decide to be gay, bisexual, whatever, if you feel like it's harassment for someone to push Jesus Christ on you, you're in violation of the Education Amendments of 1972. So I've never heard of this at all. I've never heard anyone ever bring it up before, but this Education Amendment violates the civil rights of people who choose to practice whatever religion they want to practice in. So how is an Education Amendment that no one's ever heard of, someone's heard of it, but I never heard it brought up, how does that trump the Constitution of the United States? So here we have a blatant violation of Christian rights. So you mean to tell me that LGBTQ people can march, can protest, could literally force their lifestyle on you by having drag shows at schools, half naked or naked adults dancing in front of children, and putting certain, reading content in libraries of schools? That's forced. That's something that you don't have to. It's put in the faces of parents and children every day. But do you hear Christians using this education rights of 1972? No, because no one knows what the hell it is. Like, to me, this is nothing more than Satan working through people to shut down Christians in their reach. There's nothing more to it than that. This has nothing to do with the Education Amendments of 1972. I got to keep saying it like that because it sounds so ridiculous. I never heard of it, but apparently it exists. And Title 11 exists and apparently was violated. So the child was put into ISS for 3 days. And the parents were told, if you try to remove your kid from the school, he's going to get unexcused absences and he's not going to be able to pass any of his tests. So you know what that sounds like, right? That sounds like he's going to, so they isolated him. If he doesn't sit in ISS for 3 days, that means that he will have unexcused absences until his ISS is finished if you pull him out, which means it's going to eventually result in expulsion. So this, to me, is the biggest violation of Christian rights, First Amendment rights, that I've ever seen in my life. Now, I encourage everyone to not let this happen to you, whether it be at your school, whether it be in the workplace. The parents of these kids, I hope they continue to keep their foot on the gas and not let this stand. I hope they sue the school. I really do, because this is not legal at all. But we see what's going on here. The devil is busy and he's angry, and we are in the end times, as I've said before. The devil doesn't want people to open their eyes. He doesn't want people to change. What's the most important thing in the world right now? Race and homosexuality. That's all people care about. They even find ways to tie that into every single thing that we see, whether it has anything to do with it or not. That's why BLM is getting behind all this stuff. I don't want to get into that. But my point is that you have to keep your foot on the gas, because more than any other time in our lives, our grandparents' lives, our grandparents' lives, great-grandparents' lives, we are in a time where Satan has been running rampant and things are dark and doesn't make sense. Everything that is supposed to be good is said to be bad. Everything that's bad is said to be good. So we're in clearly dark, demonic times. There's no other way to slice it. And this is a perfect example of that. So we have to keep our foot on the gas. We have to keep the faith and keep on pushing God. Keep on pushing Christ. Push it twice as much as they push this LGBTQ agenda. So stay strong, stay vigilant, because they are out there trying to shut us down.